Right here. Chan. Chan, right here. Yeah, I can. The V2. Oh, that was my V2.
Kalau dibiarkan boleh menjadi lebih teruk. Saya mengesyorkan ubat gigi Sensodyne.
Wait, I need to check my.
Sick of PV.
I need to check my faces. That's what I need. Okay. It's okay. I need to see it clearer. Okay, I think I cover everything. Maybe I can be a bit bigger. Okay. Let me go dive into the
RPG games with similar gameplay? Looking for different combat experience?
What's good, guys? How's it going? Today I'm bringing you the Cipher pre-release for Honkai Star Rail version 3.3 is what we're in. I know that definitively this time because 3.4 is the one where everything, it blows up and there's so many things happening. Anyways, this is a character I've been waiting for quite a while because I love cat girls, and finally, we're finally eating good with this one. I do have a lot to say about this character because she is a little bit different from every Amphorius character we've seen so far. So today I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on Cipher and kind of walking you through how she works and where she fits based on my impressions of her, and math of course, so that way you guys can make a decision on if she's someone you want to pull for. This video is recorded on the 3.3 creator experience server, which means that everything in it is subject to change on release. But with that said, my name is Braxphone, you can call me Brax, and let me tell you a little bit about Cipher. Cipher is yet another very fast character. In the showcase today, I'm going to be using the Fei Xiao team as an example, but just know that Cipher can be fit into other teams. The team we're playing with, Fei Xiao, Cipher, Aventurine, and Robin. These are all premium 5-star characters, but I did give them accessible light cones for free-to-play players. So cruising in the Stellar Sea, which is the Herda Shop light cone. This one is a 4-star light cone, not on the battle pass. And also, but the battle isn't over, but you can get this one in the shop even as a free-to-play player. Don't you worry. And of course, no Eidolons activated either. One more thing, as usual, there's going to be a zero cycle at the end of the video if you want to watch that. But the showcase we're doing today is meant to be a little bit lower tier gear, and usually I do lower tier characters, but I wanted to showcase Fei Xiao team today. So, all right, so here we are on the second half of MOC, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the double Aventurine, the enhancement on Cipher. All right, let's get into it. And right off the bat, the follow-up.
Her skill?
Dude, I love the follow-up teams. They're so funny. Like, every version of follow-up teams is just so silly. All right, so now that we're here, let me go over what Cipher does. She's actually, she has a very funny kit. Essentially, she doesn't really do any damage. I mean, she does a little bit of damage to the follow-up die, but let's just say, for the sake of your understanding, she doesn't really do any damage. Your teammates do some damage. She steals the damage, and then she dishes out the damage herself. So essentially, her being a thief actually plays into her kit because she's taking a portion of the damage that your team is doing, tallying it up, or stealing their damage, and then doing it herself. Now, the good news is that when she steals the damage, she's not actually taking it from you, she's kind of just like duplicating a portion of it. But it is very funny to think of that way, especially when you think of the doubloon cat and how he's just like a little goblin. She's basically the doubloon cat. So the first thing you'll probably want to know is what are her bonus traces. It gives all of the enemies on the field a 40% damage taken increase. And you can actually see that right here, unremovable, damage received increases by 40%. So this is something that Cipher applies by just being on the field, and as such, she's basically a good general support or sub-DPS character in like every single team to some extent. However, that doesn't mean that she's best in slot in every single team. It just means she's playable. I'll talk about her power level a little bit as we get into it here. Essentially, how she works is she's kind of similar to Topaz in that she'll apply an effect to an enemy. This is called Patron, and basically the enemy with the highest maximum HP gets marked with this automatically. And then you can change whoever is marked with Patron by using her skill or her ultimate. After an ally attacks the Patron, she will also do a follow-up attack at the Patron herself. It works once per Cipher's turn. And then all of the damage dealt to the Patron by your allies, that is not true damage specifically, will go into a little pool. 12% of it will automatically go towards the damage that Cipher will unleash later. That's the per Cipher's turn. And then all of the damage dealt to the Patron by your allies, that is not true damage specifically, will go into...
But the full attack is only once, right? But the damage will be by your whole team. Okay.
A little pool. 12% of it will automatically go towards the damage that Cipher will unleash later. That's the damage she's stealing. With one of her major traces, she also gets 8% from the non-patron enemies. So once you have this unlocked, basically she becomes a lot better in AoE. And then her last major trace has to do with her buffing herself. Essentially, if she has 140 or 170 speed or higher, she gains 25 or 50% crit rate, and the amount of damage she records goes up by 50% or 100%. So ideally, you want to get her speed to over 170, so that way she gets 50% crit rate, and she also doubles the amount of recorded damage, so that 12% will turn into 24, and this 8% will turn into 16.
Oh. Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Then, when you use Cipher's ultimate, all of that damage that got tallied up will be dealt as true damage in addition to one of her own multipliers. Now, the damage that she does that's not true damage, just like her personal damage, that is lower than the multiplier on her skill. Honestly, her ultimate personal damage is pretty negligible, but the true damage that she does as a part of her ultimate that she tallied up, the damage that she stole, that is a lot. And you can choose to use this whenever is most convenient to you or whenever makes sense for the cycle. It does have one major drawback though, and it requires you to use your brain a little bit. Essentially, the target takes 25% of that true damage, and then the target plus any adjacent targets will take the remaining 75%. So if there's one boss, one side enemy, so there's 3 enemies in total, you're essentially doing 50% of that true damage to the main target and 25 and 25 to the adjacent targets. Because of that, her ultimate actually becomes much more valuable in a lot of cases if you save it for when the main boss is the only targetable enemy, because they will typically have much more HP than the adds, and you want to focus all of that damage on them. Holding her ultimate is actually not that big of a deal. You can unleash it on cooldown if you want, but if you want to hold it for an execution towards the end of the boss's HP bar, you can totally do that. As for her skill, she has a base chance to weaken an enemy, which lowers their damage dealt and also increases Cipher's attack by 30% for 2 turns. Because this lasts for 2 turns, you can alternate skill and basic attack and make her SP neutral. And the last thing is that she is a goblin and can just steal things from enemies. Like if you run around with her in her technique, she will just start robbing enemies, and you can do it up to 50 times a day, and I think that's really funny. All right, so here's the patron, as you can see marked there. We're gonna go ahead and use Cipher's skill here. Start skill, basically just rotating this. So here we go, and this is one of my favorite animations. It's so funny. It's so silly for no reason. I'm gonna go ahead and skill with Robin. We're gonna wait until after Adventuring goes to use that. And then Fei Xiao should proc this on the patron here. So we're gonna go ahead and scale with Fei Xiao. It should immediately get followed up with Cipher, and then Fei Xiao again because, you know, funny, haha. Gonna basically attack with Adventuring, and then I'm going to immediately Robin ult. As you can see, we have 47 of these tokens lined up. You can actually see how much damage you're going to deal. If you scroll down, you look at Patron, it's 47,000 damage. So if we ult with Cipher, we're doing 47,000 true damage plus whatever she does with her normal multipliers, and then it's also going to hit multiple enemies, so it's going to be split. So we don't want to use it just yet. We can technically use it, and it's fine, but I'm going to save it up so we can hit a bigger number because bigger number is better person. And I'm going to go ahead and just basic attack here, and Fei Xiao ult and just beat the ever-living heck out of this guy. Boom, 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 boom. Huge, insane, crazy. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and skill with Fei Xiao. We just keep adding up more and more damage. And now we can actually Fei Xiao ult again, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna bust this guy up. Holy, free to play setup. So 227k, basic attack on Aventurine. And as you can see, that tally is just still going up. Like it just keeps on adding up over time. She's at 227. It should be around 227,000. Wow, someone took damage through Aventurine's shield. That is so crazy. We just keep getting more and more because they keep attacking. And Cipher is on life support. Oh my goodness. And eventually he just keeps going. This is so funny. Oh my goodness. All right, Cipher is really on life support now, so hopefully nothing horrible goes wrong. I'm reminded of a certain part of Fearless in Honkai Impact 3rd. So 252,000 damage saved up right now, and honestly, I kind of want to get rid of these guys, but I don't want to shift my patron, so hopefully we can just get rid of them. I'm gonna go ahead and skill this time. 70k, not bad, not bad. We're gonna go ahead and skill once again with Fei Xiao, follow up, boom, skill this time. Honestly, I kind of want to get rid of these guys, but I don't want to shift my patron, so hopefully we can just get rid of them. I'm gonna go ahead and skill this time. 70k, not bad, not bad. We're gonna go ahead and skill once again with Fei Xiao, follow up, boom, follow up, another follow up, and we can knock this guy out. All right, that's huge. Enemies are gonna get deleted. Cipher's still on life support, please. All right, Robin's gonna exit her ultimate here in a second. All right, well, basic attack, go into the next cycle. A bunch of true damage will be dealt. Now there is only one enemy. I'm going to basic attack into Robin ult so that we get the free skill point back. And now, this guy's basically dead. We have all of this saved up, so now we can blow it if we want to. I'm gonna do that just to show you guys what this looks like. It should be about 376,000 damage that we've saved up in true damage, plus whatever her multiplier adds on top of that, and it's all gonna be on this one target. There you go. And now she's the balloon cat. 423k total. Oh my gosh, she's funny. She's like an executioner. She just kind of.
What balloon cat?
And now she's the balloon cat. 423k total. Oh my gosh, she's funny. She's like an executioner. She just kind of executes enemies. I'm gonna go ahead and skill with her once again because it's more damage. Go with Fei Xiao. Another follow-up attack, Aventurine follow-up, another follow-up from Fei Xiao, and I do want to end it before this cycle, so what I'm going to do is get the energy on her, but first we're going to go ahead and basic attack with Aventurine, and now this guy's going to get really mad. I'm going to basic attack and go to Fei Xiao immediately, so that way I can get these skill points, and there we go. That should basically wipe out that entire wave. Not ideal for a clear time, but it is what it is. Free-to-play like code setup, be like that sometimes. All right, so we'll go ahead and skill on Hule, just adding up that damage. Now it's Fei Xiao's turn. Skill, follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. We almost have our ult again, which is super nice. Now, Cypher's gonna basic attack next. I'm gonna actually just skill on Aventurine to stay safe here, because I am worried about our well-being. We are going to follow-up attack, which is going to add even more shield. I'm also going to start fighting this guy for the winning spot. Now we've got 8 on Hule. I'm gonna immediately Fei Xiao ult. Boom, 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 boom.
What is this? What is this? Marvel Rivals on Mark 15. Can it keep up? Let's put it to the test. Running an i5.
insane. We're 5-3. This guy's gonna keep attacking us. We could basically just toss this if he was about to. Well, I tried to do it early enough, but I messed it up. But once that gets to like 7, if you just want to try and stall one more turn, you can totally do that. So in this case, about roughly 37.5% of the 75% split should be going to either one of those. So 37.5 plus 25, so it should be about 62.5% of the true damage will be going to Hule, and then the rest will be going to the ad. So this is not ideal. In this case, about roughly 37.5% of the 75% split should be going. Stall one more turn, you can totally do that. So in this case, about roughly 37.5% of the 75% split should be going to either one of those. So 37.5 plus 25, so it should be about 62.5% of the true damage will be going to Hule, and then the rest will be going to the ad. So this is not ideal, but again, I was trying to save it before Hule did his thing. It is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and do this. 350k damage, pretty big. Thank you, Aventurine. I tried doing this with Linkshaw earlier, and it was just not, it was not as great. I guess is what I'll say about that. I'm gonna basic attack with Robin, go right into her ultimate, so we can just get right back into it with all of our buffs. She has her 2-turn attack buff, so we can basic attack here. Now we can skill it with Fei Xiao. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Boom. 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 Explosive damage, basic attack with Aventurine. He's gonna take true damage because of the MOC. It is what it is. Aventurine's gonna go ahead and rain down more money or more poker chips. I mean, it's basically money if you're winning. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop even more follow-ups, silly follow-up game. Now we go ahead and Fei Xiao. We're gonna ult and just like, anyways, I started blasting. Punch this guy really, really hard. Skill, and now we skill again. We're gonna go ahead and basic attack here. Fei Xiao follow-up, Aventurine follow-up. This guy's almost done with one phase, and it's taken us quite a while, but we are safe. Thank you, Aventurine. I'm gonna go ahead and skill, and we actually almost have Robin ult again, so basic attack here. And Hule's gonna go into his really, really annoying form. So I'm gonna just immediately Robin ult because this guy annoys me. And I think it would be really funny to just action forward and not let him attack again. So we're gonna do that. Follow-up attack, gonna go into next phase. And yeah, just a very simple character. Basically, you don't even have to worry about trying to apply your debuff. The only thing you have to worry about with Cipher is keeping up that attack buff, which should be right down here. A jackpot for the taking. And then other than that, you can kind of just save this until it's convenient for you. Yes, you are losing out on a little bit of multiplier damage. So technically speaking, there could be instances where you would want to just do this on cooldown, and it might get you just a little bit more damage that you would need to clear in a certain amount of cycles. But typically saving it for an execution on one unit, I find to be a little bit more consistent. So we're gonna do this, get some more shield layers. Wow, would you look at all that damage? Fei Xiao's gonna punch this guy. Huge. Basic attack. All right, and now Cipher, we're gonna go ahead because we only have 1 turn left on the attack buff. We're gonna skill. So 52k. Bro is big mad right now. I don't even know why. I don't feel like I did anything to him. Basic attack and skill. It should be follow up, follow up, follow up once again, and then he's gonna get really, really mad. All right, now it is time. We've already got 6-2. I'm gonna actually, since he doesn't have an ally, I'm going to use Cipher's ultimate as well. But we're gonna start off with Fei Xiao. Boom, 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 boom. Dude, Fei Xiao is so sick. All right, now it's time for Cipher. We should unload like a pretty ridiculously high amount of damage, 544k in true damage. He's fighting us back. We just gotta delay him so he doesn't.
Wait,
Fei Xiao is so have an ally. I'm going to use Cipher's. Okay, now it's time for Cipher. We should unload like a pretty ridiculously high amount of damage, 544k in true damage.
Okay, never mind.
All right, now it's time for Cipher.
That one is the.
He's fighting us back. We just gotta delay him so he doesn't go too sicko mode. That's 3. Oh no, he's going sicko mode. It's over. It's so over. No, we have the strongest shields in the game though, so we're chilling. And we did just pass the 4 cycle mark, but that's totally okay. We're gonna basic attack and then we're gonna Robin ult and we should be able to finish it up right now. So 4 cycles on Hule, honestly, not the best in the world. But it is what it is.
Okay, so
we could definitely do better. I think these builds aren't like the most optimized, but also this guy does have a ridiculous amount of HP and we are playing follow-up attackers during Amphorius, so keep that in mind. But just as a general reminder, if you guys want to see more swipey 0 cycle showcase, that's gonna be at the end of the video. So if you've been watching the other Amphorius showcases, that's like the longest it's taken to clear in quite a few videos, in quite a few character releases. And there's some reasons for that. I mean, okay, you look at this team and you're like, oh, this is a premium team, it should not be doing that bad. But there's a couple things to keep in mind, which I already mentioned, the HP stuff. But in addition to that, you also need to be made aware of Cipher's shortcomings. And also, in addition to the shortcomings I'm going to go over with you, there are many teams you can play Cipher in, and some of them may get different results, drastically different results, depending on the level of investment and what the characters actually are. I will go over the teams in just a little bit. So the first thing that I want to talk about is her like drastically different results, depending on the level of investment and what the characters actually are. I will go over the teams in just a little bit. So the first thing that I want to talk about is her light tone situation. You may or may not be aware that a lot of the Amphorius characters gain a lot of benefit from their light tones, and she is no different. In fact, Cipher's signature light cone is pretty dang universally good on like a ridiculous amount of Nihility characters. It's because it's an 18% speed buff, which is pretty crazy. And oh, I just realized I'm over here. Let me move down here. So 18% speed buff and then 120% base chance to inflict bamboozle, which is a 16% defense shred. On top of that, there's also an 8% defense shred. So essentially, you're just getting a lot of defense shred, similar to like what you get with Resolution Shines and Pearls of Sweat. But you're also, in addition to that, first off, you have a higher base chance, and then second off, you have the speed increase, and you have the much higher stats, like much higher stats. After that, Incessant Rain is pretty dang good, just because damage and more vulnerability. And then if you are using a 4-star, I recommend Resolution Shines and Pearls of Sweat. Same thing you're gonna want to give to Payload. This thing is just too goated. But if you can, you do. And then if you are using a 4-star, I recommend Resolution Shines and Pearls of Sweat. Same thing you're gonna want to give to Payload. This thing is just too goated. But if you can, you do really want that speed, so that way you can get even more follow-up attacks and just more damage overall. It makes it much easier to build the character in general. Now, as for relics, I was running her with Lushaka to buff Fei Xiao, and I was also running her with the 4-piece Pioneer Diver. It makes it much easier to build the character in general. Now, as for relics, I was running her with Lushaka.
This one is like don't really like this set effect because in my opinion 12% isn't a lot. Maybe 12% is a lot and I don't know. I never really liked this piece. I rather use other pieces.
Shotgun buff Fei Xiao, and I was also running her with the 4-piece Pioneer Diver of Dead.
This stands dealt by debuffs. Really debuffs with tail. This one's a good buff. Pretty bad. 2 to 3 debuff. Since 8 to 12%. But the thing is, how does she apply debuff, right?
Dead Waters. This is just, more crit rate based on debuffs and a damage increase against enemies that are debuffed. This set is what I would consider the go-to, but you can also use the Quantum set, of course, because she is a Quantum character. I'm looking for it. Genius of Brilliant Stars. You can totally use this one. This one is totally fine. Here are the stats that I was running. We're running the crit damage body, the speed boots, quantum damage orb, and the attack rope. And as for effect hit rate, I recommend not really going over 40%. Like, you don't need to go over 40%. So basically be fine with just that. I'm at 41. The attack rope. And as for effect hit rate, I recommend not really going over 40%. Like, you don't need to go over 40%. So basically be fine with just that. I'm at 41. It's not the end of the world. But you want to kind of hang around 40% if you can or get close to that, just to be really consistent with your debuffs.
Okay, Cipher needs 170 speed. Speed 40 plus percent. Effect hit rates. Okay.
Now let's talk about her teams for a bit. Dude, she Fei Xiao. Your stats. After that, it's just more is what I would consider the go-to, but you can also use the I was running. We're running the crit damage body, speed boots, quantum damage orb, and
quantum damage. Okay. Attack. Okay.
The attack rope. And as for effect hit rate, I recommend not really going over 40%. Like, you don't need to go over 40%. Basically be fine with just that. I'm at 41. It's not the end of the world. But you want to kind of hang around 40% if you can or get close to that, just to be really consistent with your debuffs. Now let's talk about her teams for a bit. Dude, she is so fine. Oh my god. So we were using the Fei Xiao team, but you have lots of options. You don't even have to necessarily use Robin. You can totally use like Tribby if you wanted to, and that would totally be fine. But I was just using this old Fei Xiao team because, it's fun to bring back some of the classics. And by classics, I mean characters that came out less than a year ago. Time really flies when you're reading the story for 10 hours at a time. This team is great for Cipher. You can just replace Topaz. So if you didn't have Topaz, if you never pulled for her, or if you don't want to play Topaz, you can play Cipher here. It's totally fine. But that's not the only place you can play her. Actually, like I mentioned before, Cipher does have a general vulnerability she can apply, and she just takes damage. She steals the damage from whoever is dishing it out. So because of that, she can technically work in basically every single team. Now you can play her with Gastra's team, and this is going to be the team that I'm going to be showcasing the Zero Cycle with. She's actually surprisingly good here, but also that's partially...
This team? What? Nah, I still prefer Remembrance Trailblazer, bro. What is this?
Just due to Castra's doing so much damage all at once. So keep that in mind, but this is an example of you really can't just play her anywhere. And Tribby's going to give value to both Cipher and Castra's in this game, which is nice. And then the big question, but what if it won't? Cipher does not replace Jiaoshu if you're trying to look for best in slot for Acheron. At least not at E0. Jiaoshu's and the big question, but what if it won't? Cipher does not replace Jiaoshu if you're trying to look for best in slot for Acheron. At least not at E0. Jiaoshu's consistency of applying debuffs and the amount of debuffs he applies, it's just too strong. Cipher applies vulnerability to enemies, just by them existing, but that's not a reoccurring buff. That's just a consistent buff that's basically always there as long as Cipher's on the field. She can apply the attack down debuff to enemies with her skill, which is super nice. However, it's not going to be an absolute game changer like Jiaoshu. But if you want to play her instead of Pela or instead of Silverwolf, you can totally do that too. She does work with Acheron. Jiaoshu's still best in slot, but you're still, listen, if you don't want to pull for Jiaoshu and you want to play Acheron, you can just replace Jiaoshu with Cipher. It's not going to be as good, but you can do it, and you'll probably still clear in a reasonable amount of time. I'll probably go into more details on this in my guide video, but I want to give another shout out to an oldie, a classic, Dr. Ratio here. This guy can play with Cipher pretty dang well, actually, because she gives the one debuff by default, and then she can consistently apply another one with the attack down. So that's 2 debuffs you get from Cipher alone, which is pretty good. And then if you have her signature Lecone or Resolution Shines, that's a 3rd debuff you can get from her. So that's up to 3 debuffs from Cipher. Oh, and also Patron as well. So, and then of course, Adventuring Robin is just like the go-to. That's a good combo for this guy. Now, comparing her to Silverwolf and Jiaoshu, Silverwolf is getting buffed here soon, and I could see her outperforming Cipher if they buff her in the way that I think they will. I've been saying this since they announced buffs, that Silverwolf just needs AoE, and she needs to consistently apply the elements of like the leftmost teammate. Because they already have that mechanic in the game. Lushaka is already coded into the game where it buffs the leftmost teammate. Take that same logic, apply it to Silverwolf, and it's totally fine, right? So if she does all of that, it's possible that she ends up being more beneficial for certain teams than Cipher would be. And as for Jiaoshu, with Acheron specifically, Jiaoshu's better, but in some teams, depending on which team it is, Cipher sees a little bit more value, so keep that in mind. So by now, if you haven't noticed, the tone of this video is a little bit different because every character in Amphorius has been super Omega broken, and Cipher is the first one that does not feel super Omega broken.
My name is Peggy. It's been 98 days since I embarked on this treacherous journey into the heart of ancient temples.
Stop
Yes, I mean, she could be
AI in your ads, bro. Okay, it's easy. Tomorrow we're getting her, okay? Easy. We have her already. So, yeah, we get her in. I'll be pulling 20 times, but we get her in one pull. The first pull, okay, guys?
Super Omega broken, but like at the moment she doesn't feel like super Omega broken, and Cipher is the first one that does not feel super Omega broken. yet. I mean, she could be super mega broken, but like at the moment, she doesn't feel like super mega broken crazy. I'm a little sad about it because she was a character I was really looking forward to, and of course, I would love if all of my favorites were broken, and then they only balanced the characters that I wasn't interested in, so that way I could just profit and have all the broken characters. I feel like my very selfish reasoning is justified by the goonability of this character. But yeah, the TLDR is she just is not like that crazy compared to the other characters we had come before us, and I think the community kind of has this expectation that every new character is going to be insane, and then any character that's not insane, they basically just doom to hell and say, okay, don't vote for this character because they're terrible because they didn't power creep the last character. So you guys do need to know she's not really a bad character. She just doesn't really like, you know, blow up the ocean when it comes to just doing new things and like absolutely crushing all the content. In my opinion, Cipher unfortunately is a bit of a low spender or a whale character. I don't think that you have to go 1 to 2 Eidolons to be a whale, but I do think that this is a character that definitely caters towards people that want to swipe for copies. Her value gets significantly better with copies on a different level from other characters. So I guess let me show you why. Don't get too excited with her E1. 150% of the original recorded damage doesn't mean 2.5 times, it means 1.5 times. Some people get that confused. It's not plus 150%, it is 150% of. So keep that in mind, but it is a pretty big buff because it's going to increase the amount of damage that she stores, that she steals, and then she spits back out. On top of that, she also gets a massive 80% attack buff for 2 turns whenever she uses the follow-up attacks. It's basically 100% uptime on top of the 30% attack she's already getting, so 110% attack buff. That's a lot. Now, Cypher's personal damage is not super crazy, but to put it into perspective for you, it's about a 46% damage increase in total. So she becomes 146% of what she was before, which is ridiculous. Her E2 isn't as strong as her E1, but it is still quite strong. Whenever you hit an enemy target, 120% base chance to cause them to take 30% more damage. This is just another vulnerability she can add in at E2, because she can actually add this consistently, she does become better than Zhao Zhao. It will, at this point. Here, it will. This puts her at about 177% of her original value. This is ultimate basic attack level up. This is like 2% more. It's not that crazy. Her E4, though, is surprisingly very strong. Usually E4 is like a pretty big jump, but it's not like insane. Usually they go E1, E2 are like crazy, then E4 is like all right, and then E6 is crazy. But with E4, it makes it so that after the patron is attacked by anyone, the Cipher does extra damage to it. So basically, every time that enemy's attacked, extra Cipher damage. This can be up to 250% of Cipher's original damage. So over double Cipher's power. It's like, this is 2.5 times. Pretty crazy buff. Now this is skill and talent level up. That's gonna be just a decent amount. And then E6, if you're an absolute crazy person, this increases the damage dealt by Cipher's follow-up attacks by 350%. On top of that, you now also get an extra 16% of non-overflow damage dealt from these follow-up attacks. And then after she would normally reset the amount of damage she stored, you actually get to keep 20% of it. So if for some reason you're in a long drawn-out fight, she just spits out an ungodly amount of damage. Oh, at this point, by the way, you want to spam her ultimate basically on cooldown. But to give you guys perspective, a lot of characters, you look at E6 and they're like 250% of their base power or something similar to that. That's like a higher end thing. Most characters run 200%. This E6 is like 380% of her base power, which is like another 50% team damage. So like, I need you guys to know, this is like the most blatant whale character thing I've ever seen. So I don't know, man. Personally, I'm a little bummed because I was hoping she would just be like a destructive force of nature out of the box, but she is quite like, okay, she's not terrible. She does the job. You'll clear MOC with her fine. It'll be whatever. But I'm sad because, you know, I would love to see this cat doing millions of damage on cooldown. I think that'd be really funny. She's just such a little gremlin. I love her so much. Anyway, you're probably wondering if you would want to get her light cone or her Eidolons. I'll probably go into more detail on that on my guide video. But the one thing to know about her light cone is that Cypher's light cone is best in slot for Zhao Cho, Silverwolf, and Pela, and it's second best on Kafka, Black Swan, and Acheron. It's a very powerful light cone, and it's universally good. So if you are in need of an annihilating light cone to, you know, spread around like STDs, you can go ahead and grab that one and just use it on basically anyone. Her E1 is pretty dang crazy though. I think if you really like the character and you want to swipe for her, this E1 is like a good stopping point. But if you're gonna mega whale, please let me play on your account actually. Anyways, guys, my honest opinion is the Cipher. Again, I think she's kind of a whale character. I think she's a character that was specifically made for people who are gonna spend money. And I think the reason they did that is because she's hot, and they know that she's hot, and they know people are gonna swipe for her. I mean, it is what it is, guys. I don't think she's like a bad pull. I wouldn't say at the moment that she's a meta pickup, but I would say that she is good enough to get the job done. Just probably not someone I would recommend if you're just looking for the strongest characters to pick up at the moment. But waifu over meta anyways. You guys already know the deal. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna go and play the showcase for you guys now. I'll catch you next time.
Memang ada banyak yang
next team is
rasa
still
isu gigi sensitif ini tidak berapa serius.
Bit crazy. Yeah, that means even this girl is broke.
When I was in middle school, I was forced to join the band, and
This one? Let me think about it. So this is something, man. Yeah, like I said, I was 10, 20 pools. Maybe I'll shorten that to
now
10,
we're here. Let me go over what
10 pools. It's just a cat girl. You deserve so many pools. I'll give you 10 pools, I guess. You know what, Lord? I only give you 10 pools. Okay, Lord, I think I only want 10 pools now. Lord, she only deserves 10 pools. Jesus. Okay, Lord, let me go take a pee. Okay, this girl only deserves 10 pools, I think. Okay, Lord. Oh. I don't know. 10, 20 pools. Now what? Only 10 pools. I'll decide only. But we get her in the first pool. Don't worry. Thank you, Jesus. Whew. Okay, so what we do right now is oh, was I putting this? Okay. Yep. We chilling, man. Okay, I want to test if my small, I put a small version, does it not lag? Oh, my mic, bro.
私がやる。いける。虹が導くままに、おまたしのように。このぬくもりは外れません。雲を払って晴れ渡る空を。このぬくもりは外れません。朽ち果てて命は脆くないのです。神聖を飛べー。未来は明るいはず。ひなたぼっこしましょう。大丈夫ですよ。これが維新伝心。頼むよ。慌てないで。そろそろ西風に乗って出発。おまたせしないように。このかす雲を払って晴れ渡る空を。このぬくもりは忘れません。この時間を大切に。神聖を飛べー。死の幕へ。ひなたぼっこしましょう。私を不可能はない。いけー。 秘密を求める鍵よ。開拓者たちに真なる祝福を。蝶と共に散れ。スタールインファントム。万事順調。万事吉とならん。一心同期。
星が砕け散るさ。
All right, so before I get into the new graphics update for console, I want to remind you guys, or finally, is an option. And this, it looks much more clean and crisp, and you go back to console and everything's shaking. It's hard to see if there's people in the windows. Things are moving around a lot. You don't know if it's a person next to the fence or if it's just shaking. So it's been really frustrating for me, especially for someone that has bad eyesight. And then with TAA fixes all of these problems. Look at the comparison walking towards the fence with TA. Probably have noticed this as you play the game. For me, it's been very frustrating. It's one of my least favorite things.
私を信じ不可能はない未来は明るいはずだ。やっこのこれはいけそう。命はもろ授けます。誰に助けてもらおうかな。行く先を照らして力を合わせて。で眉より指西風に乗って出発。私を信不可能はない飛べ動かすか雲を払って晴れ渡る空を。休憩終わり。真守れ。この時間を大切朽ち果てて私がやる。いや慌てないで。お腹差しのように大好きよ。 私がやる。頼むよ。このかすか雲を払って晴れ渡る空が飛べー。神聖をいけー。神守る。説得は難しそうです。よく観察してから行動しましょう。眉より見てよ。課長、西風に乗って出発。神守る。いいアイデアでしょ。いける。体バックしましょう。休憩終わり。私を信じて不可能はない。飛べー。このかすかな光、雲を払って晴れ渡る空に行け授けます。神聖を飛べー。神守る。虹が導くもお任せしないように。大好きよ。これが維新伝心。命はもろくち果てて合わせないで。いい頼り。未来は明るいはずです。神聖を守る。やっ、この時間を大切授けます。朽ち果ててすごいですね。こっそり記録しておきましょうか。
Oh wait, I was muted this whole time? What? When did I mute myself? What? Test. I was talking to God. Hallelujah. Yeah. I think the second one gives me curios. Green leg scepters. It's alright. I need your girl here. Where's your girl?
さあ行く先を照らして時間がもったいないわ
Okay. Just enough time. Where is 3B baby?
全部
I have enough for everyone. Speed. Be honest, for now, just take ultimate first. I need this.
大切にしまっておかないといけませんねでしょ力を合わせて眉より
Whoa, 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 whoa.
そろそろ西風になって出発真守れ私がやるいける春物ねはっ口当てて耳私をし不可能はない飛べ命は脆くないので授けます神聖をいけ真守れこれが維新いや未来は赤このかすか雲を払って晴れ渡る空を飛べ日向ぼっこしましょうこのぬくもりは忘れません
Nah. Charge. Charge. Charge setters. I have another charge setter, so not ideal. This one is more important. I'd rather do this. What? Okay, so what do we have here? There's no unwanted one, but in general. Let me take a look here. Speed. I think they still want speed, right? What? Break. March. Ding ding ding. Ooh, wow. Okay, what? Yeah, what? Okay, I think it's better to just upgrade this one. I'm making you sweat, oh yeah, baby. Oh, wait. No, what? Oh, can't use that one. Oh, come on. Does this thing ever give like a negative Curio? What? I'll do this. Thank you, my boy. Thank you, my boy. My boy always got my back. Okay, I'll do this. Did I get anything? I don't even know if I got it. Who did I throw? This one then. Oh man. What? It feels like, I don't know. Which one do we not need? I think we're using everything here, right? The 3 stars. That's here. I mean, I know it's speed. Oh yeah, baby. Even if it's speed here, right? Oh wow, thank you. Oh man. Assuming we don't need anything else that much anymore. I mean, the AI will let me know if it's good, right? Okay, it will require me to have a double of something else. Okay, and then I need to swap out that one, right? Okay, let's do it then. I need this. One brick here, but can't really do it much about that for now. Okay, let's go. Okay. Oh, we're going in. Oh. Oh, what? I forgot E. Wait. Okay, never mind.
これはいけそう。頼むよ。この時間を大切授けます神聖を飛べ神守れ口当てて
はい。
お待たせしないように大好きよこのカス雲を払って晴れ渡る空をいけ
Oh.
神聖を神守れ
Man, not even
これが
a
意志
little bit?
命はもろくに授けます体ボックしましょう休憩終わりよっ神聖を死の幕に神守れ私を不可能はない飛べこの時間口当てて痛みますね薬味使っちゃおう西風になって
Finally hurt him.
出発西が導くままに神聖をいけお待たせしないよ大好きよ
Thankfully my skills are broken.
神守れ授けますこのカス雲を払って晴れ渡る空をこのぬくもりは忘れません 神 神聖を
Do their hits count? Their hits count, bro. What? That don't make no sense.
私を不可能はないいけー体ロックしましょう大好きよ
Hello, what?
さまよう魂
Nah.
行くべき道
I
を
don't feel like doing that one. What should I do here? It really is like the only thing to do is like to get the simulated universe here to do something, but even the ones here are like
充実した一日でした今夜はよく眠れそうですね
Like, how did I not get this one? Okay, so Cipher, I think I'll do a tempo tomorrow, and we will continue playing it. We will get her easy. It's from the Lord. It's from the Lord. The Lord will provide. Why can't I hit this guy? God will provide. What? What just happened?
お名前は金金伺っております
When was this, bro? What? What? When was this? What? Have I not seen this before? What? Oh. Oh, this one's like... wow, I can't believe I haven't seen this before yet. Let's do this one. Yeah, I want to know if I can like dodge it normally. If I use like a bait. I heard like you can just dodge it. This hits me. This hits me. Okay. Okay, let me see online how do people do it. I heard like there was a way to do it easily. If I use a baby model, right? see if I do it like this. If it will hit me or not. Yeah, find a way to do it? Let's do it again. Okay, that one hits me. Does my model matter? Try this again. You know, I heard like, let's see here. And that one will hit me. Will this hit me? Will this hit me? Yeah, let's practice again. Let's get to that spot at the same. Okay, there is like a sweet spot up there.
Matzo untuk snack. Baru. Waltz by time crunchy strawberry.
All? Yes. I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect right now. I think it's perfect. Get outplayed.
Okay. Let me try this again. Okay, so walk 2 steps forward. That hits me, bro. What? Okay. Oh wait.
お名前は金がね伺っております。この黄金に輝く時代よ。
Voice gone. What? What? Did I swap them out? Hello.
船乗りなんていなくたっていいものさ。
Oh. Okay, I'll close today's stream for now. Sayonara.